We are in week 5, yes, 5, week 5 of our Focus for Growth Leadership Development Program. Week 5 is all about your development and the development and growth of your teams and your organization. Before we go to week 5, let's do a quick recap. We've covered so far vision. Where is your organization going in the future? Mission or purpose? Why does your organization exist? Why do you do the work you do? What's the impact you're trying to make? Values. What are the standards, behaviors, actions and principles that you want your people to abide by as you go through your transition in your organization? Connection. How do you connect across your organization, particularly as a leader? How are you connecting with your teams? So we're at point number 5, competency area number 5, and it's all about development and growth. So how do you prioritize your growth in the wealth of activities that come at us in organizations nowadays? The constant barrage of emails, meetings, priorities, reviews. How do you stay on track with your own development and growth? Because if you think about it, when you look at any point in your career and people around you, any points in their career where they were absolutely on top of their game, I guarantee you they will have been growing at a rapid rate, growing, developing and investing in themselves. Now your job as a leader is not only to do that for yourself, primarily to do it for yourself, because by doing so you will set the example for your teams, but also to encourage your team members, your peers, and even your senior leaders to continually grow and develop, because that's the sweet spot of performance. Growth of yourself and your organization and your teams will drive growth of the business. And so often we forget that that's the key to unlocking high performance. It's growing and developing, making that continual investment in yourself, building on the foundations of the skills and experience you've already developed, and then taking that to the next level. One of the ways that you can do that as a leader is to develop your coaching skills. If you haven't looked at formalizing your coaching leadership style and your coaching skills, then you absolutely must if you're in a leadership position, because coaching is the mechanism and the leadership style and the approach you can take that fosters the greatest development for your teams and for your organization. So that checking question, am I a good coach? Have I been trained formally as a coach or in some form in a coaching leadership style? If you haven't, I would say that is an incredibly valuable investment. Make that investment sooner rather than later. If you have already been trained as a coach, one of the other things to ask yourself, and I speak from experience here, is am I using my coaching skills? Am I enabling my people to learn and grow and holding myself back in those situations where they need to learn the lesson for themselves, where they need to make the commitment for themselves so that they get that developmental growth from figuring it out themselves? Because as a leader, when you're busy, you're under pressure, you've got lots of priorities coming at you, it's very easy just to slip into the action mode. And action mode does not grow your people. Coaching and that coaching leadership style is what grows your people. So you must help your team to develop. Do you prioritize your growth? And are you helping them to prioritize theirs? So we talked earlier about you growing yourself, prioritizing your development and setting that leadership example, being the role model. Well, alongside that, you must also schedule time with your team to focus on their development. And very often that will be underpinned by a solid development plan. Now, if you don't have a development plan template, I'm very happy to share the Focus for Growth development planning template completely free of charge. Just contact me, just a quick message. I will send you our PDP template, really simple structure that enables you to identify 3 key areas that you will work on. Now, the other piece to your development, your teams part of their development and helping you develop as a leader is to be able to give you feedback. So your ability to develop is underpinned by your ability and willingness to receive feedback. So that's the other component here, prioritizing growth and development and really thinking about how well you receive feedback. Because if you're not open to that developmental feedback from any angle, from your direct reports, from your senior manager, from your peers, from your clients and customers, if you're not open to it, then your growth will slow and people will prevent you from seeing what is really necessary for you to grow your relationships with them and to grow and develop yourself and your skills. And we link all of the different components of our leadership model here and loop right back to vision. Because the other thing that development does and growth does for you as a leader and for your teams is to help you and them to see a better place for yourself and for them in the future in your organization. So it's not just the vision of the future for the organization, it's the vision of myself as a future or in the future role within the business. What is the future? How does it look for me? What are the roles that I could start to consider? What are the skills I'll develop that will get me to that future role? And it's that gestalt, that gap between where I am and where I want to be that drives my development plan and my growth. So this is an area that I am so passionate about. Growth and development is everything. And I look at my own life, my own career, my business ownership, and the times when I'm growing, in the last 2 or 3 years, I've prioritized it almost above everything else. It's the key ingredient that will really drive your future growth, but also your happiness, your success, and the development of your teams and your business. So it's absolutely fundamental. If you would like any advice on this component, it's something I take very seriously. It's also an area that is very, very valuable to focus in on with a coach. So if you haven't worked with a coach before, or if you're working with a coach and you'd like a fresh pair of eyes, then that's something that one of my team or I will be very happy to talk to you about. But prioritizing your own growth, setting regular time aside to do so, and to review the growth plans with your teams, using templates and development plans, really, really important. So that's the 5th component of our model here. Our challenge this week is twofold. So 1, if you haven't spent time on your development plan, the first challenge is to get things in a pile, understand your skills, strengths and experiences, but look for the next 1 or 2 key development areas you should be working on. Call those out for yourself and then start to work on them, put a plan in place to prioritize. Secondly, if you're a leader, to do the same with your teams. Help them to get clear on the 1 or 2 key areas of development that they need to prioritize so that they start to re-engage in their own growth and development. And I'm telling you, if you haven't already experienced it, this will unlock the next level of engagement and motivation for yourself and for your teams. So have a great week. I hope you enjoyed that challenge, and I look forward to checking in with you on Friday, where we will loop back on feedback from the week. Have a fantastic week, everyone.